What's up, everybody? Ryan, ATX Metal Podcast, back again with another episode. And today I have Aaron from the band Man. And I just want to go on the record and say that it is 12:40 on a Sunday, and we were scheduled to do this at 12 o'clock. And par the course, we have had I have had technical.
Me too.
All right.
I'll take the blame too.
Okay. We'll share this load together.
Absolutely.
So anyway, please introduce yourself, where you're from, what you do in the band, and then just a brief little rundown. Because I was very upfront with Aaron earlier, I don't know anything about you guys, but I do know that I got an email. I liked what I heard and saw, and just decided to set this up. And so, first off, Aaron, thank you for being so patient, man.
Oh yeah, dude, you're good.
Man, that lets me know that you're a homie. So, anyway, take it away, bud.
All right. Yeah, my name is Aaron. I am the, singer and rhythm guitar player of Man. We might be changing it to We Are Man. I don't know. We might be kind of getting a little brand into that, but right now we're Man. We started in Austin, Texas. We now live apart. So we have our two guitar players live in Austin, and then me and the drummer and the bass player live up in Pampa, Texas, which is where me and the drummer Mason grew up. So we grew up in Pampa, Texas, and moved to Austin together. And we moved back. So we moved back, and it's a cheaper cost of living, and we also took over a radio station. So we both work at a radio station here, me and the drummer, and kind of just started building that. So it's kind of just a whole mixture of things that we're trying to do with the band and the music and stuff like that.
My God, all of that's amazing. All of that is amazing. I'm over here just this fucking thing. Get out of here. Just get out of here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Pampa, let's start there.
Yeah.
Where in the planet of Texas is Pampa?
Yeah, so Pampa, Texas is by Amarillo, Texas. So it's in the Panhandle, the little square that nobody really knows about. That's us up there. So we're actually the real north, is what I always say, because they call Dallas north, but like we're way norther. We're norther than Dallas, but it makes sense because they are technically the north part of the middle of Texas. So we're more of like the offskirts over there. We're close to Colorado and New Mexico and Oklahoma, and closer there than we are technically to most of the rest of Texas. It's we are up there.
Yeah, you never and like you said, like you're close to Colorado. I mean, Colorado's like your flipping neighbor.
Yeah. I mean, 8 hours to Denver, which is 8 hours to Austin. So it's the same.
Yeah. Just, whichever direction you want to roll, man. So, okay. I'll just keep going with the community. Like what is there to do in Pampa besides run a radio station?
There's not a whole lot. So we're, it's about 17,000 people, we're a small town, but
okay.
We had a lot we were doing in Austin. Me personally, I've been tour managing and managing bands for a while, so I just kind of like just now got into the music scene. So we're like being in the band, I guess. And so we started the band, and we've decided to make it more of an internet band, and play a little bit less live, like play certain shows, but make them like a reason to play, not just to play, I guess.
Right.
So we've been, because we did that. That's how me and Mason, the drummer, actually met. We were, I was the manager of Oddfellas, and Mason was the drummer. So that was the connection with Oddfellas. And so we kind of, we toured a lot during that time frame, and we just played all over the place every weekend, and we did the whole play all the time, play everywhere thing. And we realized that it burns you out real fast when there's nothing that not all of them, but it's like if your goal is to make money with it or to build something out of it, and just going to play is kind of it doesn't really, doesn't really help us at all,
Right.
or to make it, make it a business. So we've decided to really just focus online and live cheaper. Essentially, so that's why we moved back was to live is cheaper than Austin because right now I have a 2-bedroom house for the same price I was paying for a third of my rent at a place in Austin. So, I it helps me free up because I also work a remote job, and it helps me free up some time to like not have to sit in 3 hours of traffic, and also while they're double decking I-35.
Yeah, man. Got to
I
make room. Come
I
on
know.
in.
Yeah, I love that city, but yes, I right now we moved pretty much to kind of just get more time and more money because it's expensive and it's like the cost of living's lower, so helps us kind of put more. I'm trying to get a van and or either that or an RV of some sort to where we can start actually, we can do a run of shows and things like that and actually plan things with proper stuff. We had all that before, but it's just kind of we're trying to rebuild something different, with it all. So um yeah, I mean, that's like there's not a whole lot to do other than to work, to answer your question. So
just just
so
to do.
it's literally, yeah, you just work all the time. So that's where we can like, hopefully grow as much as we can because all you do is work. So I don't know.
Yeah. That's the sentiment I have at the end of my work week. Just
Yeah. Yeah. He understands.
oh man. I speaking of kitties, we'll take a little sidebar here.
Yeah.
We recently got another cat. We rescue them from the shelters. Kiddo and I will go down to the shelter and just hang out with the cats, just to hang out with the cats.
Yeah.
We'll go occasionally. We'll visit the dogs. I am a dog person, and now that I'm back into running, I would actually love to get a dog to go. Anyway, yeah. So my daughter texted me or sent me a message the other day, or not, about a month ago. She said, "I have a secret to tell you." I'm like, what's the secret? She's like, "We're getting a cat." I was like, "No way." Your mom says that, we can't, she wasn't ready for one. And this, what turns out is that she just wasn't ready until she found the right one.
Yeah.
And I've been protesting to get a cat for like over 6 months. And anyway, long story short, we got a new cat.
Yeah.
Her name's Anya, and she looks like some weird fucking thing, but they just call it a ragdoll. The ragdoll cat. I was like, that's a cool fluffy cat. We'll call it
Yeah.
cool fluffy cat.
Yeah. We love cats around here. I've got him off the internet kind of as a free finds. He's pretty crazy. His name's Goose. So
Goose,
yeah.
solid man. See,
Yeah.
everybody, we're just normal people, right?
Yeah.
We got we
We
got
got
cats and
cats.
dogs, and we have to deal with rent and cost of living, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah. And then to pay for a band
yeah,
and all
yeah,
other
yeah, yeah. Look, we're
yeah,
all the same
or
here.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, and then you got well, yeah, just more expenses that's considered a hobby or fun.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's
exactly. Yeah, this
until it's
is
making money. Yeah, it's
yeah, it's just a hobby until it's profitable.
yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, well, cool, man. So we got Pampa, and the two guitarists are down here. So how does practice go for you guys?
So we actually practiced to a drummer built a fully like clicked out like click track with the drum track and then like call outs essentially. So we practiced to that. We pretty much practice individually and then we practice as the rhythm section Wednesday. It's essentially since they're both kind of lead, it's like, they as long as they're on the same page and we're on the same page, we can kind of like, make it work. Like we have a show next Saturday actually here in Pampa. It's our first show here and they're flying in on Friday, so we're going to rehearse, all Friday night and probably some Saturday morning and
Oh, you
then
said they're gonna fly up,
yeah, they're gonna fly in. Yeah, it's
man.
just
Okay.
it's cheaper. It's honestly cheaper because like they have direct flights, and we bought them so far out. I mean, it was like round trip is like $250. I mean, they probably could have drove, but we bought them so far out, and they have direct flights from Austin to Amarillo. So it's like
Oh well, there you go. Yeah, I
yeah, they're
mean, And plus, you're not locked in a car for a minimum of 16 hours plus stops or construction, because we know how great Texas road construction is.
It's all over the place. Yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
I can't wait to see. So you mentioned it earlier, like double deck in Austin. So for those that don't know, there is this massive project that's going on down the downtown I-35. They are basically capping. They're putting a roof on well, first they're taking down the upper deck. Those are gone. And then they're going to put like caps in for green space and parks, and it'll be like it is a wild vision. And I
I'm here for it.
Yeah. And but there are cons to it, because there's some businesses along the interstate that are being like, I don't want to say eminently domained, because I just don't want to say that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the government's taking our stuff. But I do know that they offered, businesses money to move so they can buy the property so they can do, this vision. It's a cool thing. I hope when you talk in construction on I-35 downtown Austin, Texas, like that gives people like anxiety and nightmares and PTSD.
Well, I think it got bad whenever I was like, because we just left like in May, so it's been pretty recent. We were living there, and it was like when I was, I guess it really started frustrating me the most was like no matter what time of day there was traffic. It was like it used to be just morning like rush hour, and then you could kind of scoot around downtown, especially about 9 or 10 o'clock. But then it turned into where there was traffic literally at 10, 11, 12, 1 a.m. like all hours of the day. So I'm just like okay, well now we've got a problem. He's sneaking on. Oh,
hello
again.
That's fine. We're here for it. We're was it PETA approved? I forget the name. But no, I drive. So I'm a pool technician trainer, job I never thought I would say I was doing. But I teach people how to not mess pools up. So that means I got to go show them how to, put them on the pool.
Yeah.
And so I literally drive around from 7:30 in the morning till as late as usual times like 3, 4. But I know for a fact, if I'm not on Mopac heading north by 3-ish p.m., it's over. You're there. You're locked in. Same for 183 going north. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's stop talking about depressing stuff and talk about good music. So when you guys decided to separate, I guess let's do this. What year did Man start? If you said it before, I've since forgot it, and I apologize.
No. So we started 2 years ago. So I was working at Guitar Center.
Shout out Guitar Center for supporting local music.
South Austin location. I was working at Guitar Center. Well, I was tour managing for a band called, I was tour managing for Post Profit. I don't know if you know Post Profit.
Yeah, I've heard that band's name before.
Yeah, so I was tour managing for Post Profit, working with them, and then I was tour managing for a band called Of Limbo. And I did a lot of touring, and then it just kind of turned out to I was putting a lot into bands personally. It felt like that, they didn't know, I don't know, it didn't always pan out right. So I was like, well, I was putting, so much into this, and so, Oddfellows, COVID kind of killed Oddfellows. That was because we had a lot going on right before COVID, and then band's all about momentum, and then when you lose your momentum like that, it's real hard to get it back. So that's kind of what happened with them, So we're friends now. Still, we all hang out, like we all live here. So except for the bass player.
May I interject real quick? For those that don't know, Oddfellows was a really fucking cool, really was a cool band. The sound, oh golly, I forget. Dude with the glasses, vocalist, I forget his name. Drake. Yeah, Drake. Now he's got that. Last time I saw him, I think he's got tattoos on his face.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Okay, I got the right guy.
Yeah.
No, it had like this kind of like I don't know, soulfulness. Just like you, if you liked it, you liked it. You know, like
Yeah.
there was this good connection. So I just wanted to say that I'm happy that you guys have, you know, just put that to bed, and now this is the new, because it's hard to transition out of, you know,
Yeah.
project to project.
It is. It is. Me and Mason, we definitely struggle. I mean, we all struggled. I would say we all were. We had some, our time where everyone's like kind of standoffish. It's a little short, but it's like the thing is like before it all, we were like we are, doing it all. We really became really good friends. So it's like at the end of the day, we were always friends first. So it
That's
was like
good. That's good, man.
that's what made it. Now did we let things get in our way? Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody does. You got to process certain emotions, but the goal, I think we've always been has always been that we're never really mad at each other. It just didn't work out. It was
Right.
frustrating. A lot of stuff you put into it, a lot of energy goes into a band, especially what we were doing. Like we were playing every weekend, touring like
Yeah,
all
y'all were
across.
hustling.
Yeah, it was a lot, and all for no money. So we were
Yeah.
we were working Monday through Friday, like we were working through Friday, Monday through Friday, and then we were playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we come back and drive all day Sunday, come back, do it again. All because where we lived, which was Pampa, you had to drive everywhere. There
Yeah.
wasn't a scene to play. And what's crazy, and this is something that I talked about, like scenes wise, is we have like 15 bands in this area, like total,
That's
right?
it.
So it's like, yeah, so it's
There's
like,
probably 15 in my subdivision.
I know, I know, I know. And so it's like we're gonna try to work on, up here. And something that really helped, I feel like, was that you had to go and play. You had to go out and get on the road and play somewhere, because that was the only way you could play. But it was just, we did it for a few years. It's a lot of energy, and then COVID kind of knocked it down, just like everything else. And we just didn't really recover. Me and Mason, the drummer, ended up moving to Austin. I ended up touring with some other bands there for a while, and I just did odd jobs, like sales jobs, and just try to go door. I did a lot of door to door solar. Did a lot of like just odds and
Oh, wait,
ends.
wait, hit the brakes. Did you just
Uh,
say you were a door-to-door solared, bro?
I was for a minute, yeah, but then I went to Guitar Center. So yeah.
Can I just ask, does that job suck as bad as it looks like it does?
Honestly, I enjoyed it. I just
Okay.
the companies I worked for, just they weren't like, or at least the one that I really started with, just the logistics weren't really there yet, and it just like it was already an expensive city to live in, and personally, it just wasn't my fit. I need something more stable, so I ended up going to like Guitar Center, and they had tour leave, which I was appreciative of. So I could go
Wait,
on
hold on,
tour.
man. Hold on. Did you say tour leave?
Yeah,
Like,
Guitar Center, they have tour leave. So you could.
of course, it's like paternity leave or
Yeah,
just regular PTO, but it's
yeah,
labeled
for tour.
tour leave. Fuck,
Yeah, but it's so essentially it's designed to where like
I did not
they
know
can't
that.
they can't get rid of your, or they can't fire you. Like you have 90 days essentially that you could go on a tour, and
What?
they
They
and
give
they would.
3 months?
Yeah, it's just not paid. It's just you just can't like you'll have a job when you come back, pretty much type
That's
thing.
almost a form of the FMLA, Family Emergency Medical Leave Act. So they
Okay, yeah.
like if you go on FMLA, here's another little note to put in everybody's cap. If you have an emergency, a family emergency, not just medical, I
Uh-huh.
actually learned this not too long ago because I could have in fact used FMLA for my grandpa's funeral. Anyway, they got to hold your job, and that's talking like an immediate, like an adoption. Like if some shit happens in a family, you got to go take care of a family member. It's not just you have an emergency, like personally.
It's like yeah, okay, that's cool. Like
Yeah,
family.
yeah. For knowledge is power. Everybody, go look up the FMLA Act. Hell, I'll put it in the show notes.
Yes.
That way it's right there. It's a very good federal law that allows you to take time away from your work in under certain circumstances, and
Which we should
they
we should be
cannot
able to.
fire you. Yeah, this shouldn't be a law. This should just be common sense, you know. But anyway, The more you
Yeah,
know,
Guitar
right?
Center tour lead and
Tour
FMLA
lead.
lead. Like, yeah, no, that's the one good thing about Guitar Center. I enjoyed that and the discounts, you know. So the job was cool. I liked working with people up there. You know, I was we had a good little group of friends, and this kind of where it all the band started was because I was doing the touring in and out, and then they're like one of my friends there's name's Austin. He's in a band called Ma. They're in Austin, and he was funny. He was like, "You don't know how to play guitar, and you work at Guitar Center?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And he was like, "Well, you need to learn." And I was like, "Okay." So so we got the guitar, and he was like, "Just try drop D." And I was like, "All right." So I just started playing drop D, and yeah, then we started I started writing songs, and I started a band, pretty much formed that, and that was about um 20 what was it, 2022? What year are we in? 2025, 2023, probably,
Okay.
about 2 years. And they were like my band members were, uh, my bass player worked at Guitar Center with me as our guitar tech. And then he was kind of the one that started jamming with me at first. And then Post Profit actually helped me. They helped me write, or they helped me. So I recorded "Hey Man," our first song. I recorded "Hey Man" at home, and then I sent them the tracks. And I used like Austin and his roommate was named Dom. They had a little house studio, so we kind of structured that song out a little bit, and then I sent it to Post Profit guys. They helped me form it to make it more of a cohesive song, and then we created the song, and then after that, with that song, I was able to essentially establish a band because I was like, "Hey, here's the product we have. Like, let's create off of this." So I got bass player locked in, and then guitar player locked in. I met him at Guitar Center as well. He was just playing guitar, and I was like, I liked his band shirt. He was wearing a tiger. Is it Tiger Cub or Dead Poet Society? I always forget because those are the two that he wears the most. But it
Ooh.
was, I think it was Tiger Cub, and I was like, "Hey, I like that band." And we started talking music, and then he was playing guitar, and then he was like, "You want to jam later?" And then it was up, there's a guitar
Wait,
player. So
wait, okay. So I keep hearing all these cool stories in this one story. And
yeah,
so your guitarist was literally just playing guitar at the Guitar Center you worked at
yeah,
and was
I
wearing
was,
a shirt, either of which are awesome.
yeah,
And
Tiger Cub or Dead Poet Society.
yeah, so then you just like approached him and like the shirt, music ideas. Hey, want to jam later? And now he's in the band.
Yeah, we literally like that night. That night, I went to his house and we jammed and we played Hey Man over and over and over. Started learning that song that we had, and then then after that, he joined the band, and he's the younger guy. He turned 21 like the week later or something. So
Oh wow, so he's
we
23 now, 24.
yeah, 20, yeah, 22, 23, yeah, 23. And so yeah, it was a fun time. Yeah, he was cool. It's interesting how that just worked out because Liam, which he worked at Guitar Center, and he's going crazy back there.
Yeah,
He worked at Guitar Center before at that Guitar Center, so he like knew everybody kind of, but I never knew him. I didn't know who he was. I didn't even know he worked there.
interesting.
And so he worked there before I worked there. So he just came in a lot. And that's kind of how I became, with them. And then Mason, my drummer, he'll still swear up and down that all he's doing is just helping me. But he still plays, and he's like right now he's helping me write songs and build it out. And he's the drummer, but he won't accept that he's the drummer. And so, but it's,
It's
but,
like drummer acceptance syndrome.
he's a funny guy. But yeah, but we both work at the radio station now. So, but which we went to high school together, so I've known him a little bit longer.
Oh, okay.
We weren't really friends in high school, but I knew who he was, and so we've got a little bit of I've known him for a long time, and it was kind of like I was managing on fellas. He was not really in a band anymore. They were just living down there. We ended up living together, for a little while. And hey, good now. And then
Troublemaker.
yeah, I know he's about to knock my stuff off. He's like literally intentionally because I'm not giving him any freaking attention.
He's
But
like, Aaron, just fucking
yeah,
give me a hug.
yeah, get over here. pet me. Well, he doesn't even like pets. But yeah,
Just
it was interesting though how it all came apart, and we were able to work songs together, and then we wrote two more songs based off of Hey Man. So the little EP we put out was called the Hey Man Project, and then that one was the songs were Hey Man, the plan is you. So like those three songs were like kind of a transition. I don't know. They're all a story. So we're so essentially trying to write like a concept. There's a concept behind what we're writing.
oh shit. Okay, yeah, let's get into that because my buddy will tell me, he's like the best concept band is Coheed and Cambria,
Yeah.
and I for the life of me, I want to invest the time to
Understand the lore.
like and like because I do this with my daughter. She's into anime, which I never had like on the radar for things that she would be into when she was younger because I don't know anything about the anime world, but we'll go to Comic-Con and she'll be telling me this and this and this and I'm just trying to understand, and it's just like it really doesn't like appeal to me. But like Coheed and Cambria, it's like, okay, but that's about like space and starships, not starships. See, I'm sorry, Coheed fans. I'm so sorry. But oh wait, hold on real quick. We're gonna hit pause real quick. It says Aaron's recording has stopped. Aaron's recording has stopped due to an incoming call. Hold on 1 second. Here he comes.
Can you hear me?
Hey, there you are. It said
All right.
that we lost you because you had an incoming call.
Dang it. I have do not disturb on.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good.
But you said Comic-Con. Sorry. I heard Comic-Con. You know, guys, you and your daughter go to Comic-Con, and after that.
Sorry, yeah, I was trying to make it make sense, and then all of a sudden that happened, and I was like,
yeah.
okay. So, god damn. Bum 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 bum. Comic-Con. So, getting into the lore in anime is like hard for me to like get there. Same with the Coheed gang. Like I would love to understand it because then I could talk intelligently of it, or at least have a conversation about it and be in the conversation versus standing out on the edge like I know the band's name, but anyway, I don't even know where we were at. But
No, we were talking about concept because we were talking about how we were
yes,
writing some concepts.
yes. So please, what is the concept that we are trying to put out there?
It's interesting, but I would say it's like that we are man, like we are mankind, right? We're one. We're
Okay.
It's like it's more of a peaceful, peaceful thing. You know, we're not going to shy away that I would say that we do right because our song "Think" everyone or ask me, you know, if it was about politics, and it's not necessarily 100% about politics. You know, we say left and right a lot, but it was the reason that actually came about was because our friend that helped write it was going to the Air Force, and so we were like, he was about to go to boot camp, and we were hanging out and whatnot. We were writing that song, and then we would actually was like a chanty thing. We started saying left, right, and then it ended up being a thing. But it was the middle of the elections. Honestly, it probably has something to do with that as well. So, but we're trying to be, like we have a song called "People." That's kind of like about how we're all the same, and like we are all dealing with we're kind of dealing with the same problems, but getting messages from different directions, and it's like separate messages for people, and it's just a what's going on in the world type thing, I guess. And I you're being crazy, cat, dude. Really? My lord.
For those listening to this, Aaron's cat
Is being wild.
is being off the charts zoomies right now.
Yeah.
But
Hey, it's a little kitten.
We'll allow it. Oh, there he is getting them love bites.
There you go. But yeah, he so essentially the music is kind of our whole we've written about an album at this point, and every song they're cohesive, like they all go together. There's a story, like is kind of the idea. I don't know when that's going to come out. We're in this phase of like I'm trying to make our music last as long as possible type thing because
Right.
you have to like keep up with the release of people's attention spans, like when it comes to new songs, are very low. Like you like it for like a week or two, and then you're onto something different usually, and
Yeah.
that's where I feel like marketing's so important. So we're trying to market the band as much as possible. It's a little less than it was there for a minute, but like we have a song coming out Friday. We recorded like a year and a half ago, um, and
Man.
we're finally putting it out. Yeah, we're finally putting it out. We did it with a feature artist of his name's Prophet Drama. He's a friend that I've been friends with in music for a long time, and so it's a cover song of "Hella Good" by No Doubt. So it's a cool little rock, dancey, heavy. We kind of put some heavy guitars on it, and it's a fun time. So that one comes out on Friday, which it's kind of how our release schedule has been. It's like we put a song out every probably every 6 months right now, and so
Nothing wrong with that pace.
yeah, and that kind of keeps it to where we still we still have a backlog of songs. We're not completely out, but we're just trying to like keep a steady pace of releasing to where we can maintain an audience, to where you can find the funding. Like I've been talking to a funding man. She said she's like a funding manager in Nashville. I don't know if it's interesting, but we'll see if it turns into something. But hopefully, that's a connection to help us get maybe some more funding, because there's grants and stuff that you can get, and that's what she was kind of talking about, getting some. Hopefully, that turns into something, and we can really start funding, because really it's like I think we have the music to be able to like at least get a solid regional base, but we just need like we need the budget, just like everybody, right? Every band, or you got to have a budget of marketing, or you play the shows, or you do whatever you got to do to get in front of the people. And I think that's kind of what we've been trying to do a little bit with the radio station as well. So they're letting us play our music on the station. We're building a fan base around it, because we're like live DJs on the station, so it kind of helps grow a little bit. And then we've been just trying to find different ways to build a market, that we can sell some tickets. And because we were doing pretty good in Austin, selling tickets, but the only problem is everywhere we played, it was only $1 a ticket, and at that point it's like
Damn.
what do we, and I'm not saying we brought tons of people. We brought like usually be able to get like 30 or 40 people in the room. But at $1 a ticket, I mean, that's $40. It's
So
like
you're saying the
uh,
places that you were playing in
uh,
Austin were only paying you $1 per ticket sold?
pretty much. Yeah. And
That I am
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
That's
That's the way
man.
of the world, man. That's how it's been for a long time. But yeah, we we were playing, we can play up here. Our third show was up here. We opened for Hinder, and we had probably 100 people there just for ourselves, and we made $1,500, and it was like,
Dude, hell yeah.
but then we play in Austin, where we're supposedly have like all this opportunity, and it's like we play, but you don't really sell merch, and then on top of that, we weren't getting any, we weren't really getting any type of pay for the tickets we were selling, which it's it's um it's not the venue's fault. It's usually like whoever's, I feel like it's the promotion, like, or
Promoter.
the promoters, but and at the end of the day, I also understand it, because it's like, there are dues that you have to kind of pay, but I feel like it's a dollar's pretty rough, because it's like
Brother,
playing
$1.
playing playing downtown. It costs $40 to park, so it's
Yeah,
like
like
it's like
that's I
so
mean, okay,
yeah.
so here's a public service announcement. I'm gonna look right into this camera right here. Like the wristband says, support local music.
Yeah.
And that means if, like he said, they sold tickets. It's just that whoever was on the receiving end of the rest of that ticket value just decided that's what that ticket was worth.
Yeah.
I throw one show a year, and my goal is to get to where I can pay at a minimum everybody. I'm at 100 now. My minimum payout is $100, and I know that. And even as I say that,
Hey,
I feel that I can do better. So like that's what I'm getting to is like my goal is to be able to pay every band $250 set. And that's just like you said, that because I am a promoter of local music whenever I do throw that show. So I have to, yeah, we're going to charge probably $25 a ticket. You get 100 people in there, it's $2,000. Split that. That's 8 bands. Boom, done. That's easy math.
yeah.
100 people at $20 is $2,000. Follow the bouncing ball here, everybody.
Yeah.
$2,000 with 8 bands. That's $2,500 or $250 each band. That's pure. That's nothing to the venue. That doesn't account for bar sales. That doesn't account for merch. That's how easy it is. 100 people. Come on, like 100 people, $20. I've done worse things with more money, and
yeah.
I will gladly pay $20 to go see 8 fucking bands.
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
I'll pay 20 to go see one. I mean, it's got to be the right one.
Yeah.
But man, God, if you work at a music venue or are a promoter, fucking do better than $1.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, and like I said,
there's the name of the episode, $1 ticket with
yeah,
dollar a ticket. Hell, make that the next fucking single. My God.
Yeah,
Dollar a ticket.
It was crazy because and specifically some of those shows, it was like, we were the local, we were the local band, right? So you bring the people, and I understand the fact of the regional touring scene. Like I understand why solid locals are important, but wouldn't you think that you would like take care of the solid locals at that point because you like want them to always want to play your shows? So it's like that's the it's interesting is I'm not saying like we've like 30 40 tickets is it's not a ton, but it's something that you can. Yeah,
that's solid numbers for a I personally think if you can get our ask whenever I throw a show is bring 25.
Yeah,
because if you can bring 25 people, I pay. That's why we kind of land on like pay, like how much do you actually give the band, right? What is that payment? People are like, we won't play for anything less than $250, or we want $1,000, because everybody sets the value of they set their price, right?
Yeah.
But like you said earlier, there's dues that do have to be paid, and you get out there and you grind and you play for the dollar tickets and the beer and the pizza and the this and that, and it's fuck man, it's a wild game to like watch.
Yeah.
It's like there's this really shitty aspect of it, but if you really want to do it, like you said earlier, just committing and just investing not only in your real world, but then in your hobby world. That you're trying to take hobby world and turn it into real world.
Yeah.
So it's a fine line and a hard one. And I applaud musicians and artists and bands like yourself, because I am not one, but I do understand that grind does exist and it's not lost on me. So whenever I throw shows and I want to pay it forward, poof, brother.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Well, I agree with that. Yeah. And that's well, I've known like you and like Anthony Stevenson, he's always taken care of us. Like even during Oddfellows. Like it was funny. I ran out like even after Oddfellows, I ran into him in the like on the road. I think it was 2 times. Like one festival, I just ran in the back of him and like with the back, and then it's and he always treated me like he knew me, friendly, like he was the friendly guy. He did exactly how he was in real life. So like those promoters, like he's a great promoter, and I've always counted or least venue owner, like, those guys. And I
Yeah.
know that's how we know you, like, is through Come and Take It. It's like that scene right there is a good scene to be a part of. But there are some scenes definitely, and it's frustrating because it's when it comes to music, and especially in a city like Austin, like a music city, because they're all very similar. LA's similar, Nashville's similar, and Austin. But it's like they all have they have a whole working class musician that like actually plays every single night. They get paid. They're in the but then there's the scene that's also like the building a band scene where it's like, so that's a whole different, you know what I mean? It's like a whole
Dude,
different
you're
segment
not
of.
wrong.
Yeah.
That's something that I was not aware of. That, I mean, a long time ago, when we first started this, I didn't know anything about the local music scene here. Like I just, my buddy that I started it with, he just said, "Look, you're good at talking to people and you're easy on the eyes." So I got the rest. I was like, "Okay, thanks for the compliment." But no, it's and it really showed up in ACL, and then not, I'm sorry, not ACL, South by Southwest.
Yeah.
Went like pre tech bro Bitcoin fucking just techie, when the music side was like the thing to go do. Like, I'm gonna pay $1,500 for this laminate that gets me in literally everywhere, so I can go see all the different types and styles of music.
Yeah.
Now I don't even know how much it is, next year, but it's going to be, actually they're shortening it.
Yeah, it's mostly movies.
Yeah, now it's like movies, tech, AI, but they actually are getting rid of 2 days of this coming South by, which is sad. But
Yeah.
now you have to condense, because I forget what they're getting rid of. They're kind of not focusing on this, and I'll have to do some more homework, because that, like, not only during like big events like that here in Austin, but just like you said, middle class, blue collar, they're your server at the restaurant you're going to downtown, or hell, at the ramen spot or the food truck. I mean, they're doing all 9 to 5 shit, but some of them have, just like regular jobs. but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they go downtown and they play every night or 5 nights a week. They have almost like residencies,
Yeah.
like the Continental Club on Congress. Love that place. Just all these cool little places where, like, that's what they want to do as a profession, is just gig at night, maybe a couple tours here and there, and also have a day job here and there. But like you said, then there's this whole other
Segment of like, if you're trying to
segment.
build, yeah, because if you're trying to build a project, that's like
Yeah,
a whole different job. That's like starting a business, and then
it's a
you have to
city in
like,
a city.
yeah, exactly. And so it's definitely interesting. That scene it took me a while to understand it, but yeah, it's like, because then you got your hired guns, which is a whole different section of music.
Yep,
And then it's yeah, it's a weird world. It's a lot of moving parts, and it's rather small. Like, I feel like too, it's like it's big but it's small. So it's like
yep.
you really, you start running into people, and then that person knows that person, and it's like it's always it's like a interesting, you know, snowball effect of how things can turn out in music too. So I've really enjoyed the grind. I'm ready for stuff to start working out. I'm about 8 years in, so it's like,
You're like,
yeah,
it's like you're in a bad relationship, but you're like, if we can just have
just,
one more good day,
yeah, we
you're
can
just
just
like,
make it. Yeah, yeah. It's like we're about to we're about, I mean, and I'm not to say that it hasn't worked out. Like, I've had some crazy
no, I've
experiences that I personally enjoy, but I'm like, I'm I would love for for, if this is gonna work, if we can pick it up, it's
so
like.
let me ask you this, and I'll just we'll just end on that. We'll end on this because I think it's going to be a good one. Like, what does success look like for you, as just, I guess I'll phrase it, you as, because I feel like you have a lot invested. Do you have the most invest? Okay, two questions. What does success look like for you, and who has the biggest investment in the band? And I don't want that to be like a dick measuring contest, like, well, I got this, but I mean, like, how much buy-in do you have? I mean, because I feel like you got the most.
Yeah, it's the first question. One more time, first question.
We'll switch them. Go with the buy. Like, how
Okay.
much are you invested in the
Um,
band?
so financially, quite
Oh,
a
no, no, no.
bit,
Yeah, I don't need like a
but
dollar figure.
okay, yeah. Well, I'd say, you know,
Just
well, the thing is though, it's important. Like, I feel like if you want to start a band, you have to put money into it. There's no way to do it without money, and so you have to like have like either somebody gives you the money and you sign a contract, or you fund it yourself and hopefully you get an investment or like return, right? So
right.
you have to kind of build. I mean, we've but I think we all have our equal, like, I learned a long time ago, when you have band members, and this is, I think, from tour managing too, mostly, it's like every band member has a role, and a lot
Right.
of the times each band member isn't good at certain roles, and there's no reason to ask them to do it's like everybody just do their own thing, right? And so as long as they should, like, my thing is, like, as long as we show up, everybody knows the music and plays, like, I try to handle everything else. So it's like the writing is mainly done, like, between me and the drummer.
Okay.
Everybody writes, but the structure and, like, like, so guitar player will send a riff, drummer builds drum track to the riff, helps kind of structure out. We both structure it out. The same thing with me. It's like I have a rhythm part and some lyrics that I'm kind of singing. I send it to him. We build it out and we demo it out and start recording it, and that's kind of how we've written songs. And so we can send back and forth to each other. Guitar player can track some clay. He can track um, guitar on it, send it back to us, see if the idea works, doesn't work, type thing. So that's I'd say we all have a pretty equal investment when it comes to, like, our roles. Everybody performs their roles, what they need to do. There's not, I don't, I'm not, I never have to worry about people not showing up. We all, like, it's, everybody's at every rehearsal, everybody's at everyone takes it very serious. It's like, I don't know. We've all committed to it, I guess, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
it's like now we're just trying to make work. I think that's another thing that people don't talk about either. Is, like, it's really hard. Like, we have a hired gun in our band, and he's helping a lot in other ways too. You probably know his name's Mark Sean from
Mark Sean. Oh
Blackheart
my.
Saints, and
Yeah. I'm familiar with the name. Yeah.
he just started a new project there called Pinwheel. They're pretty cool. You should check them out.
Okay.
But yeah, he'll be here for the show. He's kind of like a hired gun, also, like, has experience, because this is my first band ever play in. It's my first band ever, like, first time ever learning to play and sing. So it's been a struggle anyway. The guitar player and the bass player have never been in a band before at all. So Mason, my drummer, has been in band since he's 15, so he's got a lot of structure in there at this point. And then Mark has a lot of experience as well, which I have a lot of experience in the touring side, but not playing. So, like, I can definitely run a show and make sure we're on track and we get everything going. But when it comes to playing, I don't know how to EQ things properly. Like, still, like, I'm still learning those things. But we have people that know how to, like, everybody has their role, right? So, um, our bass player is a guitar tech. He was a guitar tech at Guitar Center. So, he makes sure all our guitars are set up. He takes care of all of the, like, the string changes and the cleanings. Like, he sets them up for every show. And then we've got guitar player Clay. He helps me, financially on some stuff. Like, he helps invest, and then he also, he writes a lot. He's got a lot of, he brings in the gear, and he does his job. And he's committed. So it's the buy-in, I would say, is a good, like, we're all here, like, we want this to work, and I think we all have the vision that it could. So it's just it has to have the right, obviously the right moving parts is always everything, but it is a struggle. It's like we recorded 2 music videos. I'm completely funding it ourselves. Um, it's like our the music videos are not cheap either. It's like we hired a guy. His name's Joshua Schultz, out of well, he was in Florida now, but he was in LA. He did videos for like Incubus and like a lot of the '90s bands and 2000s bands that were like the early, which is kind of the world we're kind of in, the post grunge type vibes anyway. And so he's been a big help, but it's expensive to bring somebody out like that. And
Yeah.
so we're having good, high quality professional content. But then there's also the arguments is like, do you think music videos are really worth the investment anymore? Because it's like of
Oof.
how long
There's a
the
conversation right there.
yeah, and so it's like, which I do. I think for an extent, like for long form content on YouTube, it's very important. I think you could have a whole thing. I think there's a band called Starset, and their whole like they have a lot of their concept type album band, but they're more concept content. So like all of their content's just this whole story around all their music. So they have tons of content on YouTube that's like long form that people watch. So it just depends on what it is. Are the music videos are important to establish that you're like a real band. Like literally, we even had those comments from here in town. It was funny because everybody around here is like it's the old band thing. Like because it's never even a idea. Like there's not even a thought that a band from our town would make it and cross their mind, right? It doesn't even exist. So it's like so you think it's like when they call it the old band thing, and they're always like, you still doing the old band thing? Like, yeah,
Oh, man.
still doing the band thing. And so but we send it was funny because we put out this music video for Think. I think I sent it to you. If not, I'll send it
Yep.
to you after this. So we put that music video out, and they're like, "Oh, you make like real videos." I'm like, "Yeah,
Are you a real person?
yeah. We make real music videos. Yes,
Real.
yeah, so,
They
yeah,
are even. You can't touch them.
yeah,
So like,
yeah,
but they're real. They're out
yep,
there. They're on
yep.
the YouTubes. You gotta make
The
sure you say
YouTubes.
the YouTubes and
Yeah,
plural.
yeah, and then they're also like, you out there smoking that, doing them weeds.
Food and weeds.
Yeah.
You doing the weeds?
Yeah, so
Man.
but yeah, it's funny that's the comments like, oh, you make real like you guys make a real so
Oh,
that we are considered a real band around here, which is cool,
it's
whatever
like
that means.
yeah. That's.
Uh,
We'll just call that Pinocchio. Not Pinocchio theory. Like I'm a real boy,
yeah,
but anyway, that's hilarious. Man, thank you for that.
yeah,
I think that was very well answered because it's not like I said, it's not a monetarily, you can't put a price. You can't put a price on care, right?
no,
Like
especially
and
commitment. Like
yeah, or
if
yeah,
somebody, yeah, especially when it comes to like band member, it's like, well,
yeah.
this is a kind of a rule that and I feel like other people will disagree, but or I've definitely had pushback, but like we kind of set a rule at the beginning of the band. It's like, hey, like we're not gonna jump into a bunch of projects. Like we're gonna focus on one project. We're not, you're not gonna play guitar in 3 bands and play bass and like it just
Yeah,
you can't operate that way.
because that's here.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is. Yeah, and it's
when I interview people, I'm like, hey, I slipped up long ago, thought I was interviewing a guy for band A, and totally started that interview off. It was obviously we laughed about it. I was like, oh shit, right? Sorry, not this band. We're interviewing for this band, and it's interesting. But I think that's great that you guys were very upfront from the beginning. Basically, you have a social contract with each other now to not only generate the content but to create the content, to create the music, and actually, all right, what are so that leads to the second question is, what does success look like? Because I learned through doing this that some people just want to be hometown famous, then and maybe tour a little bit, maybe go just through Texas or maybe step out to Louisiana or Oklahoma. But then others have like that vision where they are, we're selling out stadiums. That's the 0.000001% of people. You're not going to hit. Dude, I watched Queen play in Brazil. Have you seen this? I mean, they I forget. I think it might have been for like World AIDS Day or something. It was something huge, and like just watching, Freddie Mercury just absolutely fucking crush it. Or obviously the late and great Ozzy Osbourne, that sellout crowd in the UK. Man, I wasn't really. I missed the being a part of or being really into Ozzy's music. But I mean, without him, now obviously there's somebody that influenced him and so on and so forth. But ye old Prince of Darkness, like it doesn't get more fucking metal than that. But like that's not going to be everybody. So where does Man fall in that category, do you think?
I'm a dreamer, so personally, I want it to be financially successful. Where it covers itself, that's my goal, is to where it covers its costs. And you know, it would be nice to where it made enough to where it was worth doing. Like touring, like worth playing on the road and going out, and where I definitely feel like the success is a different. It's a hard question, because the way that I have always operated is, and this is a saying that I like, is like you kind of want a goal that you can't obtain, to where you have to like constantly be working towards something.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's like the micro goals is kind of what you're hitting to. So like, I want the goal right now for the band is to sustain its own expenses. That's what I want. So once we hit to that, like, then we can say, okay, well, if we're breaking even 100%, obviously you want to make money doing it if you're in it for that, right?
Right.
If you're putting into a business to make some type of money, to be glorified sales shirt or search salesman is pretty much what you are. And that's okay. That's what we
so
are.
much truth in that.
Yeah, we're a glorified shirt salesman. And it was funny because that's a friend of mine, is Nick from Post Profit. Yeah, he used to, he used to say that all the time when we were on tour. He's like, "We're just glorified shirt salesmen." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. That's literally
great.
That's what we're doing." But you
I
know
make
what?
this music just to sell shirts.
Really, it's like the only.
Look, I got there. It is.
Yeah,
I bought this one for fucking $35 or something.
Yeah.
Shirts are fucking man.
Yeah, they are.
Kind of full circle. We were talking about earlier. Just everything's more expensive. It's like we got this life to live, but we got these shirts to buy, and we got this music to make, and we got this podcast to run, and it's just
you got so much you got to throw in there, and so
got to take care of the cats.
Exactly. To answer your question, though, I think it's just short. To sum it all up, it's a never-ending goal to continue. Like, I feel like until you turn it off and you're like, hey, we're not doing this anymore, the goal is to continuously grow. Like, so I don't personally feel like we're at the point, or any type of point, that any of us are completely turning it off. It has been hard to balance being a distance from half of the band, essentially.
Right.
So that has been a weird learning curve, but we wanted to come to a place that we could establish a scene. And right now, I think that that's the goal. So the goal is to get a scene in this area of multiple bands, and that we could all play shows together and sell tickets.
Yeah, you could tell you what. Let's do this. And that's kind of why I asked the question is being a part of the local community here in Austin, which you obviously got a taste of.
Yeah.
And it's got its good flavors and its bad.
Yes.
So the fact that you guys made the decision to make a financially smart decision, and now that you are in a town that really doesn't sound like it has much of any scene except for a Cracker Barrel.
There's no, not even that.
Man,
we have a Walmart and a local superstore, like
standard
super center, and then we have a Wendy's and a McDonald's and a Taco Bell.
Yep, all the
KFC. Yep, and then in a Subway, and then we have some local restaurants. And other than that, yeah, we don't have a lot. So no,
Well,
there's no music scene. Amarillo has a music scene a little bit. There's 3 bands, well, 4 bands from our town. Which is us. Stealing Handshakes is a band. Goes to Great County, and a Special Case, and we're all trying to essentially get a group, like, trying to get all 4 of us selling tickets to where we could play the markets, and we get, people enjoy it, because the more that us 4 take it serious, essentially, which we're all hustling, like, they've been hustling. Everybody's like structured, they've been banned for a few years. Like, that's what I feel like, is that everybody's really well seasoned, I guess, where it's like they've been a band for a few years. They've got it. It's not. It's like we are the newest band technically out of the 4, even though Mason actually started a Special Case, which is another band, and so it's like, so we're all connected. But so that scene, we're really working on trying to build that scene with the radio station, because we could play whatever we want, which is cool. They let us play whatever bands we want, whatever era we want. It's like,
dude, I'll start sending you all kinds of local music.
you should, yeah, yeah. And so, like, we're just yeah, just trying to build a scene around music in the area that has been a missed target for the music scene for a long time. Like, people don't really tour Amarillo, which is crazy, because I did the math one time, and it was like within a 3-hour drive, it was like 5 million. Like, it reached like 5 million people. 3 to 5 hours, like 5 million people in this area,
Oh, wow.
that if you just drove, to a center point, you could hit a pretty large portion. And everybody's used to driving around here anyway. You have to drive to do anything. I mean, I drove to Dallas anytime I wanted to see a concert, and it was a 5-hour drive, my whole life. So it was or Oklahoma City. So it's people drive. So if, like, you can build a solid little scene, you could we're trying to get Amarillo to at least be a stop on the map again for touring bands, because they have places. It's just it got a bad rep or something, or it just doesn't have a solid scene where people will come in, and now that's why you got to drive 5 hours.
See, this is where I would love if, for example, just off the top of my head, because I'm looking at one of the flyers, band Fit for a King.
Mhm.
Huge band, Texas band. And I don't know, and I'm sure that they've probably wrestled with these thoughts, just like any band. In every band that is huge started somewhere locally, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So every band is a local band. It's just that whenever the success, when it goes from hobby to real life, and then it sustains itself, and now you're being profitable, and now, you know what I mean? And then you're starting, and then you get management, and then you get, maybe
Yeah.
some label help or whatever, but also you don't really need a label as much as you used
Used
to.
to. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, there's always an upward trajectory. It's just that it is formulaic. It is there isn't as much as a process today as there used to be, from what I know and what I've been told, as far as, like, getting to that level. But it just, anyway, what I would like to see is, like, bands like Fit for a King or Kubla Khan or any other big name band, and literally big name band, insert town, city here.
Yeah.
Go to those pocket cities that have potential, and people will come to see you, but then you stack it with 5-6 locals, and people, I mean, you're forcing them to buy the ticket to see the headliner. They're ultimately going to come anyway. So, like, just exposure, right?
Yeah.
Show that town what could be offered, because money talks. And if venues come in, especially if you're kind of, like you said, 2.5 hours one way, right? Maybe 3 hours one way just to get somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, so it's an hour. It's at least an hour to Amarillo from Pampa, so you got to drive at least an hour to go
Okay.
here.
So there you
But
go.
yeah, it's like if you want to go to a big city, like a bigger city, like Oklahoma City's 3 hours, Lubbock's 3 hours, and Lubbock's not even really that big a city. It's just they got a school. Then Dallas is 5 hours, Albuquerque's 5 hours, Denver's 8 hours. It's like you can go to all these big cities, but you got to drive.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy is whenever I've tried to get bands to drive to play shows, sometimes I've realized that people do not understand the touring aspect of that. Because I was like, we used to drive with Oddfellows. We had a show, we had a show in Harlingen, Texas, which was on the border.
Yep.
Harlingen, Texas, on a Saturday, and then we had to work on Mondays. We
Oh my
drove,
God.
we drove
Oh my.
all the way from Pampa, Texas, which is where we are now. It was 12 hours down to
One
Harlingen
one
one
way,
way.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
way.
and then 12 hours back, the next day. And there was like 10 people there, you know. Oh man. But we had good tacos. They had like really good food. They fed us really well, and then they paid us, which was cool. So that was a guaranteed show, which was, you always want to play the guaranteed shows.
Man, wow. Yeah. That's, man, 12 hours to play to 10 people to turn
One
around.
time with Oddfellows, we drove to Nashville. We had a show. They had a show on Thursday in Nashville. We left Wednesday night after we got off work. We drove all night long. Got there Thursday morning. Slept in a parking lot at a Love's or something in the van, and then we went to the show and then drove back uh from Nashville, like drove back home on Friday because we
Oh
only
my
had the
God.
show on Thursday. And I remember we sat in traffic in between somewhere outside Nashville for 6 hours on the way back. It was stopped, completely stopped traffic on the interstate. And somebody, like, it was a bad car accident or something, but we had to like turn. It was crazy though. We were like, it's I don't know. Yeah, it was like a 30-hour, whole ordeal just to go play a show. It was at the Basement in Nashville, so it was like a famous thing.
Yeah.
But it was like there was a decent crowd there on that one, but we do just do it, and that's it's like. And I've got people I'm trying to get. I've tried to get people to, like, bands to come out here and play, and they're like, we don't want to drive 8 hours. And I'm like, well,
Like, you
okay.
don't care enough. You ain't
Well,
committed.
well,
You're
it's
not
not.
committed.
I don't want to be like that, but it's like
But they
because
know.
they
They
just
know.
don't. Maybe they just don't understand. But it's like if you're gonna tour, like if you want to make a band successful that's not just locally, you're gonna have to tour,
You're
and touring is a whole lot of, like, we I did a bus tour where I tour managed for a party band. Like, they partied hard, right? A party metal band
all
essentially.
right.
And they partied every night of the tour, and we followed the bus. It was with Buck Cherry. We followed Buck Cherry for 30 days, and they had a pretty hard route. They played like 4 on, 1 off, 4 on,
Oof.
2 off. Like,
Wow.
it was pretty, extensive. And so, and when you're following the bus in a van, if you don't have another driver, they drive all night long. They don't stop, right?
Yeah,
So it's like,
their
yeah,
driver is actually sleeping during the day
yeah.
while everything's being set up. And then that dude wakes up like his 10 p.m. is like our 10 a.m.
Yeah, it's like it's his time to
He's
go to
just
work.
third shift. It's third
Yeah,
shift.
exactly. And so so when you're trying to follow, well, when the band is partying and they can't drive, and I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be the one to drive, but I'm also the tour manager, so I'm up all day during the day and at night. It's like, it was crazy. We had from North Dakota. It was crazy. It was a crazy span. North Dakota all the way down to, like, Nebraska, then over to Iowa, and then down to, it was somewhere in Arkansas, then over to Texarkana, and then Houston.
Good Lord.
And Houston's loading was like 8 a.m. And I'm like,
Ugh.
it's like it was crazy. It's like people just don't realize that. When it comes to the touring, like, that's a whole nother thing.
The
Like,
whole monster.
if you're in a band with somebody and you want to tour with somebody, or you want to you want to make that band last, like, you need to tour on the road in a van or a car whatever it is, you need to be able to see if you can handle being in that room with, or in that vehicle with that person for long periods of time. Because if you can't, then the band's not going to work out. I'm sorry. Like, at least, it's like if you're gonna tour, if you're gonna play locally and you just hang out, that's fine. But if you're wanting to tour, you gotta like each other, So
There, man. That's
or
yeah.
hire
I think
somebody that's there for the money.
yeah. I think I'm gonna. There's gotta. I'm gonna have people. Like yourself just like record little clips about just tour experience, just little
Let's do it.
little snippets like that. Just be like, hey, how was this last tour? Like, just what did it look like on the ground? Because as a fan, you don't see that, right?
No.
You didn't know that they loaded in at 8 a.m. You're thinking they just, oh yeah, they got to layer a little bit early. Nah, there's a process. And especially if you're touring with like following behind someone like Buck Cherry that's been out in the game for fucking 20 plus years. Like, yes, all hell yeah. Like, I know, that is, if they still throw down like they did back in the day, if that's just what still happens, woo, that's hard. That's a hard life. But for you guys to like do that, and then this, and then this, and then this,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. So that's why you go pay $20 to go see fucking locals. Okay, guys?
That's the whole
There
moral
it
of the
is.
story.
Support local music, pay them pay them monies so that, they can continue to bring joy to your life and cool shirts and cool music. But yeah, man, that's great. That's it. That's the message for today. Support local music.
We talk way past your hour. I'm sorry.
No, dude. When you're rolling, you're rolling. There's no reason to stop.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So let's just finish up with. Do you have like what do we have to look forward? This will be out in about a week.
Okay.
So what can people look forward to in the near future, and what are all the ats and websites that they can get a hold of you?
So you can find us on the old on Instagram at
on the internets,
on the old interwebs. We were Man the Band ATX, but now we're Man the Band Texas because we don't live in ATX technically anymore.
Okay.
So we're trying to brand more of Texas. And then, but you can find us on Spotify and things like that. You have to search a song as well. But like if you search "Hey Man," which is our song, our main song, or has the most streams, and then "Hey Man," and then "Man like man." Or man, or mankind, whatever you want to think. But those are our
a lot of mans.
Yeah, those are those things. We have a song coming out on Friday, the 20th Profit Drama. It's hella good, or 27th. Sorry, 26. It's hella good. By No Doubt, but we did a cover of that. It'll be a good little cover. We did a cover of Blurry, and we're gonna try to continuously do like cover every few songs for every original, a cover every few, just kind of give us a little more stuff to put out. So,
Covers are always, I personally, there's some haters, but I personally love covers because
I do too.
You get to hear it differently. And dude, the best covers of all is when pop goes punk. I will stand flag planted when pop goes punk. The almost, and I mean, in a rare occasion, does the pop out actually do better than the punk? We're like talking 99 out of 100. I don't know how many albums they have right now, but I have never heard one of those basically not suck worse than because like pop music, it's like it has its place, and I love it. My daughter loves it. I mean, oh my god, it's like now you have K-pop that's just like exploded. Hell, dude. Demon Hunter, K-pop Demon Hunter, they have 3 songs that are in the top 10. Like they're like they are crushing it right now. But did you know they actually have like school, like boy band, girl band schools over there? They send their kids to like go be in a band. Like it's a thing.
No, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but it's formulaic, and And I mean, hell, I think every genre, every style of music, there is a formula to like make the music, but that's where, guys like yourself come in and take the formula and shake it up a little bit and spit it back out. And that's why I like covers. 'Cause it just gives you another perspective. Like, damn, that's what it sounds like with guitars. Fuck yes. Like,
yeah. Well,
anyway.
I'll send you hella good. I'm curious what you think. I'll
Oh,
email
yeah.
you that after this.
Oh, so so for everybody listening and watching, by the time you hear this, it will have already been released.
Okay.
So just go find
listen
it.
to it.
Go listen to it.
It's a good time. If you like No Doubts, if you like the original song, it's it's fun. It's a fun little remake for sure. So.
I mean, it's hard. I don't know if there's too many Stefani haters out there.
I know. I don't really know what she would have done.
I mean, yeah, like I've never really heard any like shit talking on Gwen.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's out there. There's probably somebody out there that wants her life. Anyway.
Something like that.
We love you, Gwen. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, brother, hey, thank you so much for earlier hanging in there and everything in between. It's been great. I've learned so much, and I'm glad that we've connected. What I would like to do is maybe let's do a follow-up in like, I don't know, 10 to 12 months and see, and like, I'm genuinely interested in like where your music scene is going to be at. I mean, you're at the helms of the radio station, and you're one of 4 or 5 bands in town. So it's not so like I don't know. I'm just curious. So we'll just chat in a year and we'll do another just a recap. Like, but I'm really interested to see if like what that's going to look like. That'd be cool.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I hope it's worth it. It's funny. I had a guy come up to me the other day at here in town. And he's like, man, I've never. He's like, out of following bands for so many years or something like that. He's like, and bands always do all these crazy things to like make something work, but I've never heard of anybody like a band starts working for a radio station and then starts like, so I'm like, well, maybe that story is something that maybe it's one of those scenes in life that's like, all right, maybe we're onto something. So
yeah,
I'm hoping that's the case.
Prisoners running the prison. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and apparently, and it's crazy. Is speaking of prison, there's a prison out here, and apparently they're huge fans of of the radio station because that's what plays. So it's like we actually we have prison rock. So it's hey, it's
what's your genre? Prison rock. Yeah, totally. My God.
Well,
hey man, own it.
Whatever. Yeah,
whatever it takes.
I appreciate hanging out with me, hanging out and talking to me on everything. But we'll maybe I can have you come on the radio. We can have you call in for the radio.
Man, that would be yes, yeah, sure. That'd be great. I don't know how we'd set it up, but I'm sure with today's technology.
Like yeah, we might use something like this and then stream it to our board. I think that's possible. So.
I can make this as crispy as possible, pre-production to make it sound even better on the back end. But yeah, that'd be fucking cool.
And we pre-record a lot of our radio shows, so we can do that.
Yeah,
so.
I'm trying to work with Chuck Loesch at No Control Radio 97.3 HD2 if you've got it, or you can catch him on. He drops an episode. He does metal madness at midnight every night, 5 days a week. It used to just be 1 hour once a week on, I think, Saturday nights, or Friday nights. I think Saturday nights. Now it's an hour at midnight, 5 days a week, and my soul is so happy.
That's cool.
But yeah, dude, 90. So they play local music. You can, anybody listening, you can submit it at No Control Radio, and they will probably, I don't know what the process of getting everything and them to approve it, but I've recommended songs from locals and I've heard it like hell. I've been listening to it, and then the local band comes on and I whip my phone out and fucking record it and send it, and I'm like, dude, you're on the radio. What? So yeah, I would love that. I think that's great. And now that you guys have, an additional platform, don't be too selfish with it, but like, don't not promote your own band.
No, we're definitely not going to be like every hour,
Yeah.
but it's
here's another song. Hey man.
Yeah, we've thought about doing a show one time singing Hey Man, because the Hey Man's like 3 minutes flat. It's like a really short song.
Yeah.
And we thought about doing an entire concert of like just playing the same song over and over and over in one spot, just to see how many people, like, until somebody gets mad, like just keep playing the same song.
The first caller
Yeah.
to call in, they're like, "Hey, I think something's wrong. I
Yeah.
keep hearing the same song. I like the song, but 17 times in a row. Is anybody hello? Are you a real person? Is this a real band?"
Yeah, we definitely are selective. I didn't actually really want to play the stuff
That's
at
hilarious.
first, but a guy, one of the other guys that works there, was like, "I'll play it then," and I'm like, "All right, whatever." I didn't want that to
But
be the
that's
first
good.
thing. It's like, "Oh, you're playing your music," but the goal is to play all the local bands equally, at least once a day is the goal.
I mean, and honestly, that's what everybody has on these radio stations, especially like some, it's just a bank, right?
Yeah.
And then you just, you tell the algorithm to shuffle it up and try. You can even, I actually did a little homework on this. You can even set the parameters to where it says this song cannot be played for X amount of hours.
Yeah.
So that way it doesn't like filter back in somehow. But yeah, dude, No Control Radio, 93.7 HD2 is a nonstop mixtape of metal. I mean, it goes from like Judas Priest to Lamb of God to Kubla Khan to Locals to, back to, Spirit Box to Lorna Shore to, Fit for an Autopsy. I mean, I love it. It's better. I personally think it's better than the streaming platforms because those are all like catered to you. The radio station is like,
it's
broad strokes. So that's why I love tuning in. As should you, if you're listening to this.
Everybody should give it a chance. All right?
Yeah, man. You'll I'll hear some songs on there like never heard of that band, never heard of that, and it's just like, all right. Then you go down the rabbit hole of who they are and what they do, but it's just exposure, and that's the thing. So, all right, man. Well, I'm gonna hit stop. Just hang out for maybe about another couple minutes. Let it do its thing, and then we'll chat on the back end. But again, thank you very much, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. Sounds like you've established the things to make the band successful. So now you just have to you got to commit. You know what I'm saying,
play the weight game.
Play to wait. All right, Aaron. Well, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. Again, this is Aaron with the band Hey Man. Or I'm sorry, Hey Man is the song.
Yep.
The band is Man.
Yeah, the band.
Man, the band.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. And we'll see you next week. Later.